Hey, how you doing? I'm L.J. Martin, coming to you from the Tree Patch, out here in the boondocks, out here in one of the flyover states they ignore on either coast, and we just as soon have them ignore us, to tell you the truth. Two things caught my interest and my ire this morning. The first was another mask marvel, a darkened screen and a tweaked voice so we couldn't recognize the so-called whistleblower. He claimed to be a Twitter employee who is on leave, having to wait until January 4th, before he knew if his job continued. And that Musk was a bad man for the way he took over the company. I guess he didn't give this brave soul who was burying his soul in a mask a hug but Musk didn't give him a hug when he maybe dismissed him for not doing his job, for not, he was doing a good job ignoring the Constitution and free speech. Mr. Whistle did not win my sympathy. And of course, others on the program commented what a lousy manager Musk was. I wonder, manage your business so you become the world's richest man. Recently, he's number 2, but I wouldn't mind being number 2. Is an example of lousy management? Well, you've got to be a lousy manager to become the world's richest man. I don't think the rhetoric would have changed had he given every mealy-mouthed, discharged employee a hug. The other point of contention was the reporting on January 6th committee. And in fact, Congressman Jamie Raskin, a diehard lib, and another on the panel, a New York editor, David Remnick, a diehard lib also, crowed about the success of the Uber-based committee and how they discovered, this is the January 6th committee, how they discovered all the crimes committed by Donald Trump during what they continued to misname an insurrection. Obviously, they've never looked up the definition of insurrection, which the libs continue to use because it sounds good. Where they also said that, and I quote, armed Trump supporters attacked the Capitol. As I recall, they discovered one firearm and one vehicle and a couple of knives among the million or so gathered there. And that's not as many as they would have discovered at any religious organization that they raided. And they crowed that a ceremony was forthcoming to praise the Capitol Police, and it has now. They got their medals. Personally, I don't think shooting an unarmed woman from a distance of 8 or 10 feet and killing her deserves commendation. In fact, I think it deserves prosecution. And arresting 900 and prosecuting many without consideration of their constitutional Fourth Amendment rights deserves more than merely my ire. In fact, it might call for an insurrection if we paid any attention to the Constitution in this country, but most of us fat and sassy don't bother. But it seems the constitutional rights are only applicable to we Americans if it's our rights trampled upon, not our fellow Americans. Don't expect change anytime soon when D.C. is peopled 94% Democratic registered. The government tit doesn't encourage free enterprise. Thinking or support, or sadly support of the document that made this country great. I can only hope these rights, these constitutional guarantees, surface again from the swamp, the mire that's D.C. Now the conservatives have a slim majority in the House. However, there are so many, excuse me, however, there are so many self-serving worms of both parties in office, I sincerely have my doubts. I have my doubts that anything will be done to bring America back to the vision of our founding fathers. The ship has drifted too far off course. Again, I encourage you to read Snowden's book, and you'll discover that whistleblowers such as the one formerly mentioned are given credence only when the subject is private enterprise, seldom when it's government or the IC, the intelligence community, whose misdeeds are exposed. And we've had far too many of them of late. Thank you for watching. I hope you join us again on the Pew Patch. We got lots more to say about what's happening in and to our country. God bless you and your family. Take good care of yourself. Put your family first on the list these days. Love you all. Bye.